The woman bought a notebook while shopping, planning to record the growth of her unborn child, but as soon as she opened it, strange handwriting began to appear on the pages. She froze for a moment, but quickly calmed down, and asked who the writer was. Meanwhile, the girl flipped through the same notebook, and instantly recognized her mother's handwriting. She thought her mother had woken up from her coma, rushed to the bedside and shook her desperately, but there was no response, so she wrote in the notebook, saying she was her daughter, and warned her that the man was dangerous. The woman had once been a best-selling author. The man had chased her for years, but never earned her affection. In order to gain her billion-dollar assets and all rights to her work, he deliberately got her pregnant, and she married him because of the child. After marriage, she transferred all her copyrights to him. With her success backing him, he rose rapidly to become a well-known editor-in-chief. But once he became successful, his true nature began to show. He betrayed the woman. At first she doubted the girl's claims, but she remembered how he had been working late every night during her pregnancy, so she secretly followed him and caught him being intimate with his mistress. Shattered, she finally believed everything her daughter had written, and began using the notebook to communicate with her. She asked about life after her coma, and the girl tearfully wrote everything down. How she had caught him cheating, how he had stolen her manuscript, how in a rage he had pushed her down the stairs, leaving her in a coma. The doctors said she would never wake up, so the man switched her medication to cheaper alternatives, and forced the girl to livestream their sob story, selling her novels for profit, reading her daughter's account of the future. The woman was filled with hatred. When the man returned home, she looked at him with icy resolve, and laid out her demands. She reminded him she never asked for a dowry, never had a proper wedding, even the house they lived in was hers. But now that rumors were spreading, if he wanted to suppress them, he had to give her a dowry of $288,000, and hold a grand wedding. The man hesitated, so she pretended to back off, saying they could delay the wedding until he had enough money. But he panicked, afraid that years of effort would go to waste, so he borrowed money to meet her demand, thinking he could finally get full control of her wealth. Little did he know, he had walked right into a trap. The next day, the woman visited the publishing house, offered the exclusive rights to her work from the past 10 years, and asked the CEO to send the man to Korea as an editor-in-chief, a country currently in the midst of war, guaranteeing he would never return. She also requested the security footage, intending to expose the man's affair. The CEO agreed without hesitation. Meanwhile, the man excitedly borrowed $2 million, bought a luxury sports car as the wedding vehicle, and fantasized about his glamorous wedding day. But on the day of the wedding, the woman tossed her gown in the trash, handed the surveillance footage to the staff, and left with her luggage without looking back. When the man arrived to pick her up, he found only an empty venue and her wedding dress dumped in the garbage. He tried calling her, but no one answered. His mistress rushed in, telling him reporters were already waiting downstairs. He ran down in panic, intending to dismiss them, but they all held formal invitations, sent by the woman herself. He froze on the spot. Just then, the mistress found a note and a remote left by the woman, thinking it was a surprise gift. The crowd urged him to open it. He smiled and pressed play, only to see footage of him and his mistress being intimate. The entire room erupted in shock. The woman appeared on screen, coldly declaring the wedding was cancelled, and that she would never